What's up, YouTube? My name is the Mad Hattie, but you can refer to me as Mother of Tips and Tricks. That's right. Today we're going to be going through Endgame Camo Guide. I have learned all the tips and all the tricks to every single camo to help you guys finish it as fast as possible. Be sure to like the video, subscribe. If you have tips that are better than mine, doubt it. But if you do, leave them in the comments. Also, rate Black Ops 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay, jumping into the video, we're going to separate all the camos based on category. So your base camos, your critical kills. Second would be your special camos, any of those, weird ones, so on and so forth. Now, there's a couple things you want to do before you just dive right into the camos. You're going to have to set these up a bit, play the game for maybe 1 to 2 hours to get there. First, you want a high combat rating. So I would say a minimum of 35 and you should be fine. Second, you want at least a purple, preferably a legendary weapon, especially if you're around 35. Once you get up to like 55, 60, then you're fine. Now, if you're working on getting that combat rating up, my best suggestion is to just do as many contracts as you possibly can while you're still in that low level. Once you do hit that 35 and you start to get into those higher zones, then you're killing enough zombies you really don't even need to focus on all those objectives. Now, every 15 tiers that you hit, you get a damage bonus. So level 15 is a 2-time, 30 is a 4-time, and then 45 is 8 times. So once you hit combat rating 45, then you're really just, you're golden. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, we can actually start getting into the good stuff. So, your base camos. Easy enough, right? Well, not if you're in anywhere besides Zone 3, I'm telling you. Go to Zone 3, just run around because zombies will spawn everywhere. You can just lay them out. I would say you can get your base camos done in less than 10 minutes easily. All right, now we're getting into the special camos, which some of them are, really straightforward and they're easy to breeze through. And then there's others where you're like, these are so time consuming and annoying. How do I get them done faster? Okay, for your 25 Sentry, DAWG, or drone kills, I have this solution for you. You're going to want to look for the surveillance control objective. Go to one of those. If you don't kill the main surveillance drone, it will just keep spawning those drones. So you can get that camo done in less than a minute. Easy. On to the next one. Now this one's a little bit weird because it says 25 kills shortly after sliding or doing wall jumps. What I found is that's a lie. It's actually getting kills while you're sliding. So I wasted 3 or 4 games just trying to get kills after sliding, and it just doesn't work unless it's almost immediate. What you're going to want to do with that one instead is to just slide around and kill zombies while you're in it as best as you can. If you're using the melee, it's a little bit harder and a little more annoying, but you'll get there, I promise. All right, now this one has to be the most painful, time-consuming one of them all, because I honestly personally haven't found a better route to doing this faster and easier, but this is what works for me, and it's at least relatively quick. But if you have better tips, leave them in the comments because I'm also doing this as we speak, so it'd be kind of nice. Anyways, this camo is for 50 guild tech eliminations. Now, if you don't even know what guild tech are, it's the robot enemy, okay? So not humans, it's solely just the robots, and I don't believe dogs count either, so it's just the robots. The best way to complete these kills and do contracts that help you complete these are grid takedowns. In Zone 1, I think it spawns up to 10 per contract, so you could really just grind those out. As well, there are other areas of the map that can sometimes spawn them, but I don't think it's necessarily guaranteed, especially if other people in the game are going there and trying the same exact thing. I would try to avoid that if possible, but obviously it's an option. Okay, the areas where I'm able to best find these are the car factory as well as Clifftown. You can kind of just run around there and sometimes they'll pop up. One other contract that you can try is if you go to Zone 3 and you find the prime target or HVTs, they'll spawn, I think, 4 of them there. Other than that, so far, I have no other way to really track these guys down. Now, any of the other special camos you can really just get by going into Zone 3 and getting kills because most of them are either attachment related or rarity related. They're all just, you know, more kills. But now we have to talk about what's the easiest way to get your 20 special kills in order to get your weapons gold. All right, before we jump into how to get your special kills, let's talk about what count as special kills compared to just, you know, your regular everyday enemies. Now, there are 3 zombie special enemies, and these are the manglers, the haunts, and the mimics. Specials that are actual real enemies, human enemies, they are raiders and the GR6 robots. Those can sometimes be specials as well. You kind of tell if they're just wearing all black armor instead of the regular gray. Now, it's also useful to note that some of the prime target objectives and the HVTs can be specials. Typically, you'll only see these down in Zone 1, sometimes Zone 2 and 3, but they also mix those in with Elite, so it's not always a failsafe. Now, when I'm focusing on getting my special kills, all I do is I run in the hills of Zone 3 still, because they will spawn all over the place. I'll run through the hills, and then I'll wrap around back into the top of Hightown, because you will also get a lot of raiders there. And then if you just keep looping that, you can probably get at least 2 guns done in a game. Also, a good thing to note is if you're doing the camo grind with a friend, you can both shoot the special zombie, and it will count for both of you as long as you both get shots in. Now, before we get into the elite kills, if you're still watching and you like the video, please drop a follow. Help support the channel. Now, what even count as elite enemies? Elite enemies, as you're going around the map, if you look at your mini-map, if it's an elite enemy, it will always have a little triangle on the mini-map. If it's not elite, it'll probably just be a special then, and it will not count. So if you want to be sure that it is an elite, just double check your mini-map. If the triangle is up there, it's an elite. Now that you've made it to your elite kills, all you want to do is do pretty much the exact same thing that you've been doing this entire time. Run around Zone 3, do prime targets, do HVTs, surprise shipment containers. These are all great ways to chip away at any of those elite kills for any gun. But yeah, I mean, pretty much that concludes the end of our video, because obviously now you have Genesis. But once again, if you are not following, please drop a follow, like, comment, all of the above. If you have more tips on how to help others in the comments get these camos faster than in this video, help us out. Thanks for watching.